Imagine paying a flat rate of, $150 to have your apartment completely scrubbed, but the cleaner who walks through your front door is a humanoid machine.
Or consider a massive global bank deciding to stop treating artificial intelligence as a helpful digital assistant and instead treating it as a direct replacement for thousands of human employees.
Welcome to episode 515 of AI Brief. I am your host, Amin, and I'm joined by my co-host, Leah. Today, we are jumping into a deep dive on a series of developments that are fundamentally rewriting the rules of human labor.
And the narrative surrounding artificial intelligence has shifted at such a remarkable speed over just the past few
Oh,
months.
for sure. You will want to follow along closely today because the roadmap ahead covers some massive structural shifts. First, we are looking at major global banks transitioning rapidly from running isolated pilots to executing widespread AI-driven layoffs.
We're no longer discussing distant future concepts mapped out on a whiteboard. This is an immediate operational reality.
It is restructuring both our corporate organizational charts and the physical chores of our daily lives. So then, we are going to examine the latest breakthroughs in physical robotics, from that $150 humanoid house cleaner all the way to a highly specialized four-armed robotic system preparing to head into low Earth orbit.
The distance between a research breakthrough and a real-world deployment has basically collapsed to
It
zero.
really has.
Yeah.
And finally, we will run through a rapid-fire roundup of the top trending AI productivity tools designed to completely streamline your daily workflow.
It is a packed deep dive today.
So let us look strictly at the raw financial metrics coming out of the banking sector today. The heavy-hitting news emerging from massive financial institutions like HSBC and Standard Chartered paints a very clear picture.
They've completely changed their tone, you know. They are no longer framing artificial intelligence as just a distant productivity boost or a pilot program to explore later.
Standard Chartered actually detailed a concrete plan to cut more than 7,000 jobs. To put that into perspective, that number represents roughly 15% of their corporate function roles.
Wow. That is a massive reduction.
It is huge, and leadership at the bank directly tied these sweeping reductions to the expansion of automation and the scaling of technology. Over at HSBC, the internal messaging is equally blunt.
The chief executive officer explicitly told staff not to fight the disruption driven by AI, acknowledging openly that the technology will absolutely eliminate roles while simultaneously creating new ones.
We are seeing a sector-wide shift where AI adoption is explicitly connected to workforce restructuring. To understand the scale of this change, consider an analogy. For years, the financial industry treated artificial intelligence essentially like a highly capable intern.
The primary goal was human augmentation, essentially.
You would hand the AI a massive 500-page regulatory dataset to parse or ask it to summarize a dense market report. The entire intention was to make the human banker faster, more informed, and more effective.
The human was always the final decision maker in that loop.
But what we are witnessing right now is the intern being treated as a hard lever on headcount. The intern is no longer just assisting the human worker by bringing them a summary.
The intern is generating the summary, matching it against internal compliance policies, flagging the anomalies.
And executing the final report end-to-end. The intern is becoming the replacement.
That transition from a playful innovation narrative to a direct cost-cutting program represents a profound power shift inside financial services.
While the underlying driver here is intense, relentless profitability pressure,
Definitely. When an institution specifically targets 15% of its corporate function roles, they are looking directly at the support and process-heavy layers of the business.
We're talking about compliance, human resources, data entry.
And risk assessment parsing. These are areas where employees spend significant time reading documents and applying a strict set of rules to the information they find.
And large language models are uniquely perfect for exactly those types of tasks.
Because of this, the efficiency and scaling technology can yield massive cost savings almost immediately. The entire battleground in the financial world has evolved. It is no longer a debate over whether artificial intelligence can be helpful to bankers.
The immediate critical focus is determining exactly which parts of a company's organizational chart can survive an AI-first operating model.
As these major global banks signal their restructuring intentions so publicly, the market expectation is that rival institutions will be forced to follow suit simply to maintain their competitive margins.
If one bank suddenly operates with 15% fewer middle management costs, every other bank has to match that efficiency or risk falling behind. That exact same ruthless push for efficiency we are seeing in banking spreadsheets is now bleeding out of the server room and into the physical world.
We are seeing physical automation step out of the laboratory and directly into the environments where we live and work, starting right in the home.
The era of humanoid home cleaning services has officially begun.
A San Francisco-based startup named Gatsby recently made history by completing the first paid apartment cleaning in the United States using a humanoid robot. The economics of this deployment are truly fascinating.
I mean, they're offering the service for a flat fee of $150 per clean.
And if you look at the traditional market rate for professional human cleaners in major metropolitan areas, it typically ranges from $150 to $300. But the most disruptive element here is not just the price point, it is their fundamental business model.
Because major players in the humanoid space, like Tesla and 1X, have historically focused entirely on an ownership model.
Their plan has been to manufacture physical robots and sell them outright to consumers for tens of thousands of dollars. That puts the burden of maintenance, charging, and software updates entirely on the homeowner.
Gatsby is taking a completely different approach.
They built an Uber-style rental model accessed through a simple iOS app. You do not purchase the hardware at all. You simply book the humanoid robot when you need your floors scrubbed or your counters wiped down.
They deliver the machine, it performs the service, and then it leaves.
It shifts the product from hardware ownership to a service on demand, and they plan to expand this offering to more cities very soon. Taking physical automation to its absolute extreme, we turn from the living room to low Earth orbit.
Oh, this is a fascinating pivot.
The research institute ETH Zurich has unveiled a highly specialized machine named Helios. This is a four-armed humanoid robot built exclusively for in-orbit missions, specifically designed for satellite servicing and space station maintenance.
And the engineering here is remarkable because it directly addresses the unique physics and constraints of space.
Instead of relying on heavy, bulky motors at every single joint, Helios utilizes a cable-driven system. You can think of it almost like a high-tech marionette puppet. Tension cables pull the limbs into position, which allows the machine to remain exceptionally lightweight and highly dexterous.
Which is critical in zero gravity.
If you swing a heavy robotic arm in space, the momentum can cause the entire central body of the robot to spin out of control. By keeping the limbs light through a cable system, Helios maintains its stability.
The business case for this technology becomes immediately clear when you look at the economics of off-planet labor,
The cost of astronaut time is valued at roughly $140,000 per hour. Relying on human astronauts for routine exterior maintenance is astronomically expensive.
It requires massive support teams, it is incredibly slow to prepare for a spacewalk, and it is inherently dangerous.
Offloading those routine maintenance tasks to a cable-driven, four-armed machine offers a massive opportunity to save costs, reduce human risk, and keep satellites operational much longer.
Bringing the focus back down to Earth, the way we actually communicate with all of these physical systems is crossing a major threshold.
Unitree has just demonstrated a massive software breakthrough with their G1 humanoid robot. The machine can now take live, unscripted voice commands in real time.
This is a massive departure from traditional robot demonstrations, which are usually heavily pre-scripted code telling a servo to move exactly 40 degrees.
During a live loop, a human can issue a natural verbal command for the robot to perform warm-ups, execute push-ups, initiate dance moves, or even provide emotional comfort.
It is wild to see it in action.
The system works by seamlessly chaining together three incredibly complex processes in a matter of milliseconds. First, it utilizes speech recognition to turn your raw audio into text. Second, it uses intent parsing, feeding that text into a language model to understand the semantic meaning of exactly what you were asking for.
And third, it utilizes motion planning to translate that conceptual intent into the actual physical physics required.
Bending servos, shifting weight, and balancing. It provides an early glimpse into a future where interacting with humanoids feels as natural as holding a casual conversation with another person.
That ability to chain those specific processes together in real time completely changes the dynamic of how we view these machines. When you can speak naturally to a system without any special coding syntax and watch it parse your intent and execute a physical motion immediately, the interaction barrier vanishes.
It shifts the entire psychological framework of trusting a robot.
Suddenly, the idea of hiring a humanoid to navigate the unpredictable chaos of your lived-in home for a cleaning, or trusting an autonomous system to handle delicate maintenance on a multi-million-dollar satellite in orbit feels far more intuitive.
You are no longer programming a machine.
You are simply directing a worker. To ensure you are fully equipped to navigate this rapidly changing landscape, we are going to dive into today's trending AI tools designed to streamline your day.
We have a robust list of utilities that are pushing the boundaries of daily productivity, and the overarching theme is taking complex workflows and making them frictionless.
First up is Framer. This platform has deeply integrated artificial intelligence directly into its website building workflow. If you need to establish a web presence quickly, the practical application here is the ability to instantly spin up an enterprise-grade landing page for a new project.
Instead of wireframing a design, passing it to a user interface team, and then handing it off to front-end developers, you describe what you need, and the AI generates the complete functional layout in seconds.
Next is the Google Anti-Gravity CLI. For those who do not code daily, the CLI, or command line interface, is essentially that raw text-only screen where developers type direct commands to the computer.
This new tool brings coding agents directly into that terminal.
If you are a developer, this means executing complex local script writing and managing system tasks without ever having to switch windows or leave your primary command line environment. It puts the AI exactly where the code is actually running.
Moving on to the concept of persistent context, we have Memdex.
This application solves one of the biggest frustrations with current AI models by turning every conversation into reusable local memory. Think of it as the difference between meeting someone for the first time every single day versus having an assistant who already knows exactly how you like your coffee and how you format your emails.
It keeps your context persistent across different chats.
So you never have to repeat your specific preferences, formatting rules, or project details to the AI again. It just remembers.
For those requiring massive processing power, there is Command A+.
This is Cohere's Open Enterprise AI workhorse model. When you are dealing with corporate infrastructure, the primary value here is having a heavy-duty engine capable of processing massive, dense corporate documents securely and efficiently without hallucinating over complex financial or legal text.
Next on the list is Forsey.
This platform introduces a fascinating new marketplace dynamic because it allows you to capture and sell your AI agent workflow data. If you have spent hours building a highly efficient, custom AI automation sequence that perfectly handles a specific business task, you can now directly monetize that sequence by offering it to others who need that exact same automation.
Finally, we have VibeDoc.
This tool provides a simple toggle right from your Mac menu bar to manage your Claude Code MCP servers. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, which is essentially a secure way to let an AI read specific local files on your computer.
VibeDoc allows you to instantly switch which coding environments and files your AI has access to with a single click directly from your desktop, maintaining a totally seamless workflow as you jump between different projects.
And the overarching trend connecting all of these distinct utilities is exactly where they are physically positioned.
The most effective new AI tools are no longer separate websites or distant platforms you have to actively open a browser to visit. They are natively living right inside the spaces where you already execute your work.
Whether the tool resides deep in your terminal, sits quietly in your Mac menu bar, or is natively integrated into your design canvas, the technology is moving closer to the user.
The goal is to eliminate friction entirely, so the AI feels less like a tool you pick up, and more like an invisible layer that enhances everything you do.
As we look at the full scope of today's developments, it leaves us with a critical thought to consider. Between major financial institutions permanently cutting thousands of corporate roles to adopt AI-first operating models and a simple iOS application that lets you order a humanoid to scrub your apartment floors, we are rapidly entering an unprecedented era.
Both our complex white-collar careers and our routine domestic chores are suddenly subject to the exact same forces of automation.
The traditional line dividing cognitive disruption from physical disruption has completely blurred, and it is happening right in front of us.
Thank you for joining us as we navigate these massive structural changes.
Make sure to follow the podcast on your platform of choice and share this deep dive with someone who needs to stay ahead of the AI curve. See you in the next episode.